Hello, I'm Colleen Pearl the Cool Crone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be the February Tarotscope for the sign of Aquarius. This, I think, is going to be a pretty impactful reading because this throw is mostly major arcana, and the few cards that I did get of the minor arcana are all court cards like pages, pages and kings. Oh, and one queen. So, okay, buckle up. Let's go. So the first card that we get this is, by the way, this is weeks 1, weeks 2, week 3, week 4. I have 3 Astrology Astro Code cards and 1 Oracle card for you. So this should be a pretty sweet reading. All right, so the first card up is Judgment. So you are in the judgment zone. So it shows here that for some reason you're the one being judged. So when Judgment shows up like this, and it's the very first card, this leads me to believe, Aquarius, that your world is revolving around a very important decision that only you can make. And it's not going to be an easy decision. It's not going to be an easy thing for you to come down with this decision. But as we can see here, you are the one who has to make the decision. So yeah, so February starts off with a bang, and I do want to acknowledge that if you're an Aquarian sun, then this is probably your birthday period, so you would be the person in charge, the person who has the wherewithal to make the correct decision. If you're an Aquarius rising or an Aquarius moon, then you're also having to make a tough decision, but it's just not your birthday time. Okay. All right, the second card up is the Page of Hazards. And Hazards in this deck, this is the Zombie Tarot card deck, and I hope this isn't offending anybody. This is a very playful, fun deck, but it does have some fairly gruesome images in it, so I want to apologize up front for that. If that offends anybody, then maybe you should look at last month's reading, or pick a card reading, or maybe look at another one of the signs. I didn't do all the signs with the zombie deck, just Aquarius. Okay, so the Page of Hazards is the card that comes up here, and so this is an immature energy, but it is a pentacle energy, so it is an energy of earth. And when we have the Page of Hazards, we have a young person who is trying to figure things out. They want to learn, they want to be the person who's brought on board as the intern. They also want to give you information. So while hazards or pentacles don't deal with information, pages do. And pages are always bringing some kind of a message, or they indicate working with a younger person. And so what I'm going to say here is that your decision that you have to make has something to do with younger people, very much their health and safety, because Pentacles also represents the body and health. So I'm going to say that some kind of a decision that you have to make has to do with people's health and safety, especially young people. And the third card for the first week in February is Temperance. And check out that imagery there, right? A vaccination. A vaccination is what the Temperance card is saying. That you need to be careful, you need to be more moderate, you need to, temper your decisions with moderation. So the Temperance card is saying that you need to balance your choices. So whatever that decision is in the first card that you have to make, you need to balance things out. You need to think about what all is involved. Are you really in charge of the safety and welfare of young people? Because if you are, then you need to make a different decision than if you were making a decision that only pertained to adults, because younger people have different needs. And also, I think this is very clearly showing that your indications of that you need to use your common sense and realize that you may be asked to mix apples and oranges in order to come up with a good decision. So that first week is all about that decision and the people that you need to consider and the facts that you need to consider in making that decision. So good luck, Aquarius. I hope you make a good decision. The second week of February starts off with the Wheel of Fortune. And so this is saying, what goes up must come down. This can also indicate the end of something. So whatever decision you were making in the first week, perhaps that ended something for the good or for the bad. We don't really know. But the Wheel of Fortune nonetheless is saying that karmically it's over. The second card in the second week of February is the Knight of Cups. So this is a knight with a secret. This is a knight who is coming along with information he wants you to have. And he is saying, listen to me, because I can tell you where the bodies are, or I can tell you, the secret code, or I can tell you the combination to the safe. So the Knight of Cups usually has a secret that he's willing to share, but only with you. So that's probably good. Now, I hope he's not coming along behind your decision and saying, oh, you really needed to know this before you made that decision because, that caused people to lose their jobs or, have an accident or, break up with their husband or whatever. So, I hope that they're not coming to you with that kind of information, but I hope that they're coming to you with the kind of information that will make you feel better and that will be to your benefit. And the third card in the second week is the Emperor. And the Emperor is the person who takes care of everybody. He's the one who makes the rules. He's the one who takes care of everybody. Sometimes when I get it closer, it really focuses in nice. So the Emperor is the one who's in charge of the land. He's in charge of all the people who live on the land, and he's in charge of protecting them. And that's why he's got the doors barred from the zombies, and he's holding a gun and an axe. And the little kid is standing behind him, because he's the protector. So in this second week, the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Cups and the Emperor, I hope that either this is still informing this decision that you need to make that started out the reading. It kind of seems like it does. It seems like, the Knight of Cups is going to come along and give you some more information, and you, in fact, will become the Emperor with your decision because you will be the one who has, in fact, protected the children and taken all the factors into consideration and made a fair and balanced judgment in your decision. The third week starts out with another page, but it's reversed, the Page of Wands. So here's what it looks like reversed. Here's what it looks like when it's upright. And when it's upright, what I want you to realize is that this is a person who is fairly immature. This is somebody who finds it hard to really marshal their emotions. They usually are a little bit hot-headed and spoiled, and they want what they want, and they act out impulsively. Wands are fire, and the personality for all of the fire court cards are fiery and impulsive and dramatic and intuitive and courageous and inspirational also, but when they're reversed they tend to go a little towards the cruel side, the hot-headed side, as do the swords. They go a little bit towards cruelty. And so this Page of Wands is not a really happy person. So obviously this is somebody who disagrees with you, who doesn't think that you made or does not think you will make or are making the right decision. So it's somebody who really disagrees with you and not somebody that you're really going to worry about too much because it's a page. It's somebody who's, if not in years younger than you, then in manner, they're just more immature than you are, and I don't think people are going to listen to them. And then we have the Chariot. So once the decision is made, we have things not spinning out of control necessarily, but spinning, just moving really, really, really fast. And there's not a lot that you can do about it once that decision has been made. In other words, the cow is out of the barn. You can't get the cow back in the barn. Things have gone off the rails a little bit. So in general, the Chariot is telling you that, yeah, things are really going. They may have gone off the rails. Then again, things could be going really well in the right direction due to your decision. So it just means that everything is going forward. Things may be moving a little faster than you want them to, but actually that may be a good thing in this situation. Did I get that right? And then we have the Page of Swords. So this is a person who definitely has a message. Page of Swords has a message. Please focus. There we go. And the Page of Swords, again, a younger energy, an energy that is agreeing with you and is supporting you and is giving you inspiration and courage, but also wants inspiration and courage from you. This is the young person who is inquisitive and headstrong and wants to talk or, argue or debate the points. And so this indicates that as things are just going headlong into this, what shall we say, process, because the Chariot has you succeeding and going forward, and there's a lot of movement or travel associated with what's going on. The Page of Swords is saying, hey, what about me? What's going on? How can I be a part of this? Can you tell me about it? Please define it for me. I want to talk about it. So the Page of Swords is a young person that really wants to be involved and wants to be next to you. Then we come to the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is somebody who is very self-reliant. Let's get him focused. Very self-reliant, bit of a loner, very optimistic, an entrepreneur, somebody who can figure things out in the way that they need to be figured out. So if you need someone to give you ideas, or just to say, yes, you're on the right track and this is going to work well for you, then the King of Wands is your guy, and he shows up at the beginning of the 4th week in February. So that's really, really good. And you'll notice he's missing a limb, and he's making a new one out of that piece that he's holding up. Another bone, I guess. Okay, so he's also in your corner and about to help you, although he can be a bit of a loner. So you may have to really talk, Aquarius, which I know you hate to do. I'm kidding. You may have to talk a lot to talk him into helping you, but he is going to help you. And then we have the Fool reversed. And the Fool reversed, this is a really positive thing to have come up in your reading, especially late in the reading. It means that you're not a fool. It means that you're sure of where you're going, you've planned it out, you've looked at the path, you've figured things out, and you're going about it with faith and inspiration, and you're doing it the right way, and you're very happy about it. So that's good. That just tells you that you're on the right path and everything's going the way it should. And then the final outcome is the Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands normally is a woman who doesn't look like this, but she's very capable. She keeps an eye on everything. She's very busy. She can manage things. She knows what everybody is doing at all times. So she's a little bit of a busybody, but she's so busy and capable and competent that she does not really have time to be the busybody kind of gossip person. It's just that she wants to know who everyone is, what they're capable of, and what they're doing, so that she can allocate work appropriately, because that's what she's really about. She's an exceptional manager. So Aquarius, that is not you. Not that you're not an exceptional manager, but this is a fire sign. So the Queen of Wands is a fire sign. And I must say, I think of all the minor arcana, I think wands are most represented here. We had the Page of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. We had a Knight of Cups, Page of Hazards, and a Page of Swords, and all the rest were major arcana. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana. So half of these cards are major arcana, and the other half are pages, kings, and queens. So very significant reading, I think, for you, Aquarius. So February is going to be a very significant month for you. And now let's look at your Astro cards and your Oracle cards. So the Astro cards are really interesting too. So the first one up is Juno. And Juno is the asteroid that a lot of astrologers are saying really rules Libra. So it's all about partnership. It's all about things being equal. It is about a work-life balance. It's really about balancing things and getting things in order, which is really funny using the zombie deck, because everything looks like, everybody's just in the middle of an apocalypse and nobody could even think about working or anything like that. Everybody's just trying to survive. But so Juno is saying that if you're in a partnership, revere that partnership, cherish that partnership, because that really is what life is about, that kind of partnership. It's not just really about the coin. And then we have the moon, and the moon is telling you to trust your intuition, use your intuition, and perceive what other people around you are feeling at all times. Moon is about emotions. Your emotions, take care of yourself, practice good self-care, and other people's emotions, and see what's going on with other people so that you don't tramp on their emotions and hurt them. So the moon is in there, and then we have the card for dignified. Now this may not make sense to you as an astrology card, but in astrology, when planets appear in different signs, they can be dignified, which means they're in the sign of their rulership, or they can be in their fall, which is called their fall, which means that they're in a sign that's probably the opposite of their dignity, which would be this card, or they can be exalted. So exalted means it's not their rulership sign, but the planet works very, very well in that sign. An example of that would be Saturn in Libra. So Saturn rules Capricorn. It used to rule Aquarius and Capricorn. Now it's, the modern rulership is it's just Capricorn. But when Saturn transits the sign of Libra, it is said to be exalted, and it does very, very well. It's the most positive aspects of Saturn that are exhibited when Saturn is in Libra. So that's an example of exalted planets. So what does it mean to get the dignified card for your astro codes? Well, it means that you are putting to use the energies, probably of your chart, but the energies of your life in a very dignified manner, in the highest meaning of those energies. So when you get things like the Judgment card, you are going to look out for people's best interest. When you make that decision, you are going to be very balanced and as refined as you can be, and yet still make a timely decision. So I think that's what that dignified card means. It also means, with the Moon card coming up here, it also means that you're really going to think about what other people are feeling. You're really going to think about where are they at in terms of your decision. How is this going to affect other people? And finally, you're going to think about, how is this going to affect my life, my partnerships, and my partner, as well as how that's going to reflect on other people. How are their partnerships going to fare under the auspices of my decision? So that's your Astro cards, and I'm going to lay them out upright so that you can see them a little bit better here at the bottom of the screen. And I'm going to take out this Oracle card because that's the next one I'm going to talk to you about. And the Oracle card that you got is very appropriate for the Sabbath that's coming up, Imbolc. It's a goddess of Imbolc, really. Brigid is the goddess of the eternal flame. And it says, I am an eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. So the goddess Brigid was a pre-Christian Irish goddess or Celtic goddess that was revered for her ability to do things. I mean, she supposedly invented poetry. She invented whistling. She invented crafts. She brought the light. She brought the flame of life and creativity to the world, or to the Celtic people. So one of the things that Brigid is really known for is creativity, and she rules the sacral chakra, which is the chakra for creativity, which is orange, which goes along with her red hair, and you see all this orange and flame colors in the card, because Brigid also was a smith. So she invented smithing of all kinds, iron, silver, gold. So she worked with that very, very hot metal to hammer it into useful and practical shapes, and also beautiful and decorative shapes. So Brigid is a really cool goddess. You should look her up and see what she's all about, especially in this time of Imbolc. And one of the things that it means when you get Brigid coming to you in a card is that you need to see yourself as the source of light. You need to realize that you can be this to other people. You can bring comfort to other people, and you can be the light that they need to see. There is a story that she invented whistling so that if people were walking in the dark and they felt alone, all they had to do was whistle. And if somebody whistled back, then they knew they were there. So you didn't have to know their name or worry about whether it was another man, another woman, another child, whatever. If they whistled and if you whistled and they whistled back, you knew that they were there, and that was a comfort to you. Similar to when you light a candle with the flame of another candle, it doesn't diminish the flame of either candle. Both candles ultimately will have the same size flame, and that flame can be shared on and on and on and on and on, similar to just saying hello or whistling to somebody in the dark. So that is the reading that I have for you, Aquarius. Very interesting that you got all major arcana and court cards in your reading. So again, I'm just going to reiterate that I think this is going to be a very important month for you. So thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please leave me some comments down below and let me know how you liked this reading. And I will see you next time.